Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic lovers, students, and doctors. And we have three sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. From 8:30 to 9:30, we have an international session in English. And from 9:30 to 10:30, we have a local language session. And we are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself so that those who missed the session can watch it again. You can subscribe the same without paying any money, whether it be a homeopathic lover, student, or doctor, it doesn't matter much. What the purpose of this forum is to take homeopathy to every home around the world. And today, our guest is Professor Dr. M K Sahani, sir. Sir has completed homeopathic MD and then sir is having PhD with him. And sir is the former CCH member as well as the scientific committee chairman and is one of the chief coordinator of IFPH and is the chairman of the IFPH scientific committee. And sir has more than 50 years of clinical experience and having a lot of teaching experiences with him. And we are know sir is presenting a very different subject tonight. Has presented different subject in this forum. All were really excellent. And as you all know, sir is the chief coordinator of Hindi session as well as in English session also. In this session, sir's moderation is really great. Every day, sir is adding something more to homeopathy. And those who really study all those materials, definitely you will be a big person. You can become a big person like Sahani sir, or we can become a legend if you think you can read everything. And if we follow the uh, methods that our legends were giving it to us. And sir, today talking about a trip down memory lane. As we all know that it is a different subject. What can be the memory? Was sir has lot of memories with sir. So we proudly welcome the guest of the day, Professor M K Sahani sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh, for your wonderful uh, introductions. Every time you have, keep on appreciating me. Friends, it is my privilege today to share with you my life experiences with the homeopathy, what I have gained, what I have lost, and what I have learned. This is very important for us. And you know that I have a very hobby of traveling worldwide, and I had traveled a lot. So that was the outward journey. That was the journey through going to the different places and different countries. And now, at this age, I started having a journey inside my own life. So I'm just trying to recollect how uh, I entered into the homeopathy, what prompted me to be the homeopath, and what I have experienced from others. So today, this is the first part of my presentations, and I am going to share with you the experiences with in my own family, my father, my mentor, and my everything guru also. So with this, I can only tell you that what is our memory? What is the meaning of the memory? It is the what we shape us, that we drive the memory for an event of our past called an autobiographical memory. There can be lot of perceptual details such as sight, sound, smells, and taste, make them more vivid and life-like. Friends, as you try to have an introspections about your own life, it is very important for all of us to how much, and this also helps you in correcting yourself for the at the every steps. And since life is a journey where a lot of the obstacles are there and lot of the failures are there, and we have to make a mind how to experience, how to take opportunity or advantages of all these failures, because advantages from the failures, advantage and appreciation from the appreciation from our success, that that is the part of the life. But what constitutes your life, it is only the what you have learned and what you have changed yourself. This changing process is the phenomena for the human life. Every throughout your age, right from the childhood until your age, you are changing from one stage to the another till you comes to an end unhalted state of the life. Friends, yeah. So this lecture is only a gratitude lecture for my father, and now you know that my father himself was a Masiha physician, and he was he, being born from this in this family. I feel that I have a blissful life gifted for me by the Almighty. My father was my great guardian. He was friend. He was philosopher and guide, to whom I indebted with only reverence to offer. And I am blessed to experience homeopathy from early childhood today. So what I can say, I was born in a homeopathy. I born with the homeopathy. I lived with the homeopathy. So I just wanted how much I can share these experiences, what I have learned, so that it may be useful for everyone. I'm just trying to do today. And the first lesson that I am going to tell you, that I was just only a school-going child, and when I observed my father seeing lot of the patients used to visit our clinic come residence, it is one of the important things that my father never had a separate clinic, because he was very much he find himself in a comfortable in a clinic which is where the residence is. So throughout his life, his clinic was also a residence, and the clinic was jointly together. So, and watching the patients coming to our clinic, and also early morning, the patients were coming till the evening, and father was looking after those things. I was curiously watching all the his clinical observations, how the patients come, what he asked, and what he used to make the patients, and what are the reactions of the patient. What are the reactions? So this was what I found. Now just I am talking like a child, that what I observed, that he was asking so many questions. I was wondering why he's asking so many questions. Then after the questioning hours is completed, he started searching into the long searching. In those days, there was no computer at all. So he was searching and searching through the Medica, that I learned later on, that this thick book and is the Medica and the repertory. And finally prescribing, and one of the beautiful things that I have observed, he was prescribing only a single dose in the early part of the life, putting a drop of the medicines on the tongue, and that's all. Just imagine a drop. So you can say a drop of the drop into the vast ocean of the life. And this was beyond my imaginations in those days. But what was the effect? The patients were curious, patients were coming, and they are getting cured, and they are day by day, his reputation spreaded from one place to the another, from one district to the another, and entire Bihar. So this was the wonderful things that I have learned from him. Then it was my first-hand experience by watching, simply watching. And during my period at the Central Council of Homeopathy, where I was the chairman for the Education Committee, I tried to utilize this watching habit among the students, and in the curriculum of the BHMS, I tried to include that students from the first year to the second year, they should be in the hospital. They should without and simply they have to see the scenario. And the great things it happened that wherever I visited, whichever college I visited, and where these things were implemented, and I talked with the students. I talked with the students. I talked with the faculties, and they were very much satisfied and surprised that students are getting curious. They are getting excited to see the patients, how they are interrogated. So this is instilling the first things that you have to do. So we need to have the patience while case witnessing process, which requires to keep your emotions in a stable state. We have to face the anger. Yes, patient used to get angry. They used to threat you. They used to temptate you. They used to lure you in many ways. And we have to be, what we have to do, we have to be seated with the patient who is just before me with the overwhelmed mind. The mind is like the turmoil, and you have to maintain the calmness. You have to face everything calmness. It is the learning of maintaining silence among the turmoil season filled with the roars of thunderstorms and lightning. So this is the wonderful things that I got instilled in my life, watching, and patiently seeing the things. I just observe, remember the experience of the Newton. You all know the Newton who discovered the law of motions. He writes in his place that he used to sit by the side of the ocean and used to watch the every waves that is coming up. This is the counting of it was not counting of the wave, it was just the experiencing of the waves. Friends, one fine morning, now this is one of the wonderful things that gave me the very good impressions on my mind. One fine morning, I saw a jeep approaching to our house with senior officer being guarded with the security force. Later, I learned that he was the commissioner of the city. And in those days, my father was posted in a Hazaribagh district in Bihar. And the commissioner was approaching him. I was just, as a child, I was curious, I was frightened and watched standing on our veranda. As the jeep stopped, a gentleman came down and asked to call my father. And during those days, my father himself was suffering from the gout pain and was unable to move. However, with some support, my father came to the veranda. Now that this commissioner was very senior most and on the very high positions, he might have called Dr. Sahani at his own residence. But when he learned that he is himself suffering, he just volunteered to visit our house. So, so commissioner himself was, and the commissioner was suffering from the, later on I learned that he was suffering from the sciatica pain. So he was unable to move and was also helped to come out of the jeep and arrive at our veranda. Both my father and commissioner were seated face to face. Now the questioning sessions, observation sessions was initiated as usual, and finally he arrived at conclusion with remedy and asked our staff to bring a file of the medicines and put a drop into the mouth of the patients. Now this much. Now what happens? After the medicines was put into the mouth, he waited for a few minutes and thereafter asked the patient, "Sir, please stand up now." Reluctantly, he tried, but he was able to stand by himself, and then he took few steps around the chair. Now, after feeling confident of standing and walking around, he was overwhelmed with excitement, surprise, which spreads among all the people who accompanied me. Obliged, he thanked and left the place, walking himself to the jeep and returned back. I didn't understood at that time what miracle has happened, but this permanently got instilled in my memory. And at those moments, I did not learn homeopathy, but instilled the permanent belief about the immense power of homeopathic medicines. This was my first love with the homeopathy. You know, Dr. Kent's how he got attracted. He was not a homeopathic doctor. He was just an allopathic doctor. But when his wife was suffering from very serious illness and was not able to cure, so what someone told him that there is some old homeopathic physicians who treat the patient. So he asked him to come to his house. He also put the same drop of water, medicines on the mouth of his wife, and thereafter she slept. And when she got awake, she was excellent. She was moving around. So just a coincidence. I am just narrating that how we can this miracle seeing, and that's why I say that every student, the college is not, classroom is not the teaching places for the medical professions. Hospital, the clinical setup are the best place where the homeopathic students or medical professions could learn. Now, the second lesson I am going to share with you, as I grew up with the schoolings and observing, I observed my father was serious and pondering. The thoughts come into his mind. Yet when I asked, he affectionately nothing to say. He was always a thoughtful in nature. He was a philosopher. He completed his post-graduation degree in philosophy and the sociology, and as the patients, he became popular. Patients and physicians, many physicians were coming to visited our house to share the experience and chatting and the discussions and learn from my father. One fine morning in January, it was the beginning of the winter season, a patient visited his clinic who was drenched with the sweats and with the unbearable pain in his abdomen. Now, the same process of questioning session, my father asked the patient to give one strand of the hair from the patient's head. He was curious, yet he gave. Hair was placed on a piece of paper, and a globule of homeopathic medicines was brought in its contact. Within few moments, pain disappeared with too much surprise to the patient. Patient got relieved of the pain, but my father was not satisfied. So he started that it may be the placebo effect. So he just removed the hair from the medicines, and the pain started again. So suspecting it to be the palliative effect, he then removed the hair from the medicines and pain started. Now for further confirmations, what he did, he increased the potency, which aggravated the pain much more than the before. Now he again removed the hair and the pain disappeared. He left the clinic satisfied, and later on and the pain never appeared to him. The single dose, and this was the new discovery, and this was just the seedling stage of his discovery of the transmitting medicines from a distance. Friends, all these things I have watched right from, and during this episode of hair transmission, I was just in a high school student, and I saw that, and I got very much inspired by these things. So curiosity. Now, this is the learning that curiosity is the mother of the science, and wonder is the mother of the spirituality. So when you become curious, when you start investigations, and you move toward the spirituality, this is very, very wonderful message from the Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. One need to have faith on the spirituality to have curiosity for any scientific explorations. Man who cannot, this is again writing from the Kent, a man who cannot believe in God cannot become a homeopath. This is the writing from the lesser writing of Dr. J.T. Kent. You all can read and just get inspired. So this is the things that develop, that you have to be curious. Because case taking is a process. Case taking is a process which starts, and imagination is required, curiosity is required. What what next? You have to keep asking what next, what's next, to arrive at the right simile. You must see and feel the internal nature of your patients. You must see and feel the internal nature of your patients as the artist sees and feels the picture he is painting. He feels it. Study to feel the economy, the life, the soul. This is a foreign and percept of Dr. J.T. Kent. Now the third experience, his popularity spread throughout the state. Patients who were treated by him gave their own nickname related to the suffering from which they got. Now the popularity was spreading. The people, patients from the different area were coming. One such episode, earliest such nickname that he got was that he was referred as Langra doctor. Langra doctor means the person who can cure the lameness, who can cure the paralysis. So he was serving as a teacher in a village called Hottapatari in Darbhanga, the district, where he used to treat the patient with homeopathic medicines. In those localities was very common. This paralysis was the very common illness. He used to devote with the patient, taking detailed history and selecting medicines for every patient. He used only a single dose. This was the unique phenomenon that he never gave two doses or three doses every time he prescribed. And this he maintained till the discovery of his medicine transmission. Cure was so fast that with such a single dose, patients used to get relief from the paralysis. All these were possible only when have passionate love for homeopathy. This is the wonderful third lesson that I am sharing you. One of our close relatives, now another experience is one of our close relative who was an engineer by profession. Even after his marriage, for about 5 years back, he had he has not been blessed with a child, and they were desperately in search for the youth. Then changing doctor from one after the another, they were moving around in search of the doctor who can give them the cure. They overlooked my father being a practitioner in his own relation. This usually happens in our family life. We all have this. Ghar ki murgi dal barabar hoti hai. But when they become completely hopeless, and while discussing with the family members, where my father was also present, they finally thought of taking a chance as a lost hope. So as they were our family relatives, he was aware of their life situation, so he took less time to select the medicines. I recall it was the sepia medicines, which was given to his wife in a single dose. Within 2 months, menstruation stopped. They were excited and went to test, which brought great news of being now she is pregnant. So this is the wonderful things that I can see, that how the homeopathic medicines can give a birth for the hopeless patients. Gradually, time passed, and in due time, she delivered a male child. This great news spread around the family with overwhelmed joy. After childbirth, there was no words of appreciation, and handed over the boy to my father's feet. Thereafter, whenever child got any minor problems or any serious, only consulted my father. Now that the child is grown up and took up the profession of engineering and leading a peaceful life, fame comes from miraculous cure. Now this is another important learning. You don't have to make a publicity. This is important. You don't have to, when you serve the patients, the patient will, it will spread like a wildfire. Now people of the area started calling him the father, a doctor who can give hope to the hopeless. Now the fifth, homeopathy is a holistic system of medicines. Now we cannot say that we are curing a disease, and there is no cure for sufferings being named with the nomenclature of the disease. In nearby village, there were mental in one of our nearby place, there was a lot of mental sufferings and insanity, mental retardations, idiocy, etc. It is nearby the Patna, and their relatives never thought of getting cured after visiting so many consultants and psychiatrists, even and everything were in vain. There are a lot of spelling mistake in this PPT. One of such patient with mental insanity was brought, being chained. He was chained and kept him in control to my father. My father asked the attendant to remove the chain as they were not sure about the consequence. But my father insisted and they obliged reluctantly. Initially, he was violent, but soon came down with much surprise to the family members. So this has been, and Doctor, you can remember Dr. Henneman, what he said about the treating the mental disease with the hardness, with the curiosity and the cruelty, and by chaining you cannot treat any of the mental patient. And this I saw with my own eyes. When this insane patient, everyone were silent, and my father did not spoke any word, but made silent observations as there was nothing that he could discover from the patient by verbal explanation. He consulted the attendants for detailed history, onset, and family background, and I arrived at conclusion for a medicine. Medicine selected was only sulfur. Only sulfur, yes. He asked a staff to take the hair of the patient, which was registered by the patient, but with the help of the attendants, he was able to get it. This hair was dipped in the sulfur 200 solution and asked the attendants to report after a fortnight. Much excitedly, patient attendant came along with the patient who was now calm and with no chain around him. Patient spoke mildly. Treatment continued for 6 months, with everything was now normal. So, treating mental patients need close observations. This is one of the learning. Family members has to be given counseling for handling the patient as their responsibility and with great patience to bear the volatile behavior. Then third lesson is cure come with simillimum. Only when we arrive at the simillimum, there is a great need to have the patience. Getting bored or irritated with the patient's behavior, we can never discover the symptoms which can lead towards the simillimum. To handle the thunderstorms, we have to learn the resilience. Patience, silence is the great prayer where we can get the fruit of remedy. And this line I have just placed before my clinic gate, when the patient enter, the things that they first read, silence is the great prayer. Many mental patients began flunking to our clinic thereafter. Now he got another new name, the Pagal doctor, the mental doctor. Now the sixth lesson is working in a civil service with the homeopathy as a passionate hobby has brought much regard among the colleagues and even from the senior. I noticed my father being regarded as with great reverence from all. He used to treat his colleagues and senior equally. One such experience I remember is the most senior commissioner of the Bihar government. We used to visit our house. He was just suffering from agiospermia, and he was under my father's treatment. At the time passed, his cement test showed remarkable progress, and soon it was around the level of being able to fertilize the ovum. His wife got pregnant and delivered a male child. Subsequently, he was retired and left to his native place in Tamil Nadu, but remained in touch with for any treatment required till he was alive. He is not now he is not taking any medicines orally. So getting influenced by the seniority, now this is this we all used to face. When a senior persons, when a neta, when a ministers or leaders come to your clinic, you become timid and you, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, you started. This is you cannot ask the questions. So you feeling shyness and asking the questions, it deprived you of totality formation. So and then what becomes? You one becomes prejudiced, and it becomes difficult to get the right answer. Usually, reverence limit our freedom to ask freely from the patient. We have to practice to develop bold enough to asking, even which may seems to trivial nature of to the patient. Observation, listening, and asking should run parallel to each other to arrive at completeness of symptoms. Beside location, sensation, and modalities, there are umbrella over it, the causation and relevance to the life situations. We can better understand the miasma involved in such symptoms and the patient as a whole. We need to have a doctor-patient relationship in its most natural form. This is a wonderful experience that I learned. Now the next is uh, he was serving in the rural area also as an official duty. And once during the flood time, lot of people had to be evacuated from the trapped village around the Ganga River. And when they were brought and kept in camps, but built for them the purpose, they were given shelter beside foods and other medicines also. Many were suffering from joint pains and fever, joint pain in fever, cold and cough. Volunteers were there. They tried to serve the medicines, but also I insisted my father to give some medicines, homeopathic medicines. It was difficult to go through the detailed symptoms history of the patient, of every patient, a detailed history of the every patient. Thus, he collected few symptoms and found Rustux to be the very common medicines for all such situations. He prescribed Rustux to each, but there was not sufficient medicines. He started taking up the hair of the patient and dipped them in the medicines. Now, this almost all were much better and they were feeling better, normal. This again spreaded the message of homeopathic cure. During the epidemic, we have to select the genus epidemicus on collective symptoms. Medicine selected on this genus helps to support patient in the mass as all for have common causation. We need to learn working with the patient in mass group during the emergency also. And during the, you know that during our corona time, we have also, and the government of India has also developed a genus epidemicus medicines, arsenicum. So genus epidemicus is very much recommended by Dr. Henneman in his Organon of Medicines. Dr. B. Sahani has skilled himself to treat the patient in isolation as well as in mass. We are the physicians. We have to treat patient in isolation. They come to your clinic one by one, but many a time you have to be with the patients in the mela, in the crowd, in the flood area and the medical camps. A practitioner must be develop ready reference for medicines to handle that emergency. Having a therapeutic knowledge of the medicines is also required. This is very important learning that we have to know. Now another experience that I am sharing is he was unanimously elected president of the Homeopathic Medical Association of India, where he served for the 2 terms, and later on he was the national vice president of the homeopathic medicine. HMAI. His life was dedicated to the homeopathy. Under his leadership, many free medical camps were initiated throughout the Bihar. He himself participated among with the other members. I recall such medical relief camp being affected in the flood area of the North Bihar, and Dr. B. Sahani went there and distributed medicines through the boat because it was area was full of the water. Volunteers were enthusiastic and with the elderly guidance. Here he was also helped doctor to draw genus epidemicus For the flood victims, it was a rare moment from his life. Service above the self are the basic theme for any medical professions. Working with colleagues brings more opportunity to learn with the sharing and chatting. And while we have our livelihood with homeopathy, we also have to serve it. This is another important message that I have to share with you. Love for humanity is also reflected with the love for animals equally. So it is not that we are treating homeopathy, and I think many doctors nowadays are treating only, they are called the veterinary homeopath. And Dr. B. Sahani, during his lifetime, he had some pets animal in his house, which includes cow, cats, a small poultry, and even the ducks. I remembered one of our cat who delivered kittens recently became sick and was very dull and sleepy. It was not even taking milk, which used to be its favorite food. Beside it was not feeding even her own kittens who were restless with that hunger. Dr. Bisani was observing and noticed few symptoms and prescribed CPR to it. By next 6 hours, the cat got awake and started looking at the kids and started feeding them. We gave it some milk, and which also she relished and drank. Speechless animal are innocent and cannot communicate subjectively. It requires minute observations of those symptoms which can be taken as subjective informations of inner conscience. Desire for food, which is favorite once, it if become averse, gives remarkable informations of sufferings of the vital principle. Similarly, love for own children is instinctive in nature, and if it becomes the indifferences of them also have the deep meaningful information. In our clinical practice, many patients come who cannot communicate subjectively, and during such situations, our minute observations of these type of the symptoms comes to us with the great rescue. Even the language barrier are common, but we can better information from them by collecting about the space, place, environment, and cultural phenomena of that region. Patient need to be taken as a live mute object from whom we have to get informations. Extracting the informations is very important. Extracting the information from the place. So you can say that a tree is there, water, rivers are there, and what they are communicating. This is important things that we all have to learn. During the summertime, in one summer vacation in our college, we used to spend time in house playing and taking care of our small poultry, observing them, how they moved around. Similarly, ducks were used to be opened to go nearby a small pond for swimming and self-feeding. Once a street dog entered our campus where chicken were moving around and feeding themselves was overpowered one of the chicken. Sudden rush of frightened other chicken which started running here and there. As soon as we noticed the dog holding chicken in his mouth, we rushed and chased. It ran for safety, leaving the chicken from its mouth. To pick up the chicken, it was still alive. After picking up, we found that he was still alive, but feather was bloody. We rushed to a nearby veterinary hospital, where doctor declared and scolded us, "Why you have trying to make fool of us by treating this chicken which cannot be cured?" We returned back carrying chicken and showed it to our father. He immediately asked for the lysine 30 and poured on the injured part and kept it in safe place with some feed for it. Gradually, wound healed and it started moving around and feeding itself. By 20 days, wounds was completely healed and now mixed up with other common companion chickens. After 1 month, it also laid eggs. but we were reluctantly in taking, but to eat it because it may be the rabies poison, and but we were confident that there was no effect of the rabies. So it is the confidence we learned from him not to get discouraged and give up even when there is no scope to be held. So a dying patient is seated before you. You cannot say no. You cannot say no. This is important thing. We need to learn practicing to look for the symptoms which cannot be observed by the others. Even the triple simple symptoms becomes important information leading towards prescriptions. Homeopathy is a system of medicines for hopeless, hope for the hopeless. Now, in Bihar, during the month of Kartik Purnima, it is a full moon in month around October to November. A great fair is organized in the continues for months together in Sonpur. You might have heard the Sonpur fair, the Asia Fame fair in the Vaishali district. It is attended by people from all over the country and abroad. It is famous for the cattle market, elephant, horses, and all type of the animals one can buy and see here. Beside cattle market, there were many household things one can purchase from here. Many theaters, fun and frolics with food are also a special attraction. Government took all security and other facility for the visitors beside medical services. Volunteer organizations also come here to serve in their own way. My father, during his tenure as president of HMI, started medical camp in the place, provided by the government with their consent. All members from the member of the HMI, they volunteered to serve and keep it functional for the entire period of 1 month. I also had the opportunity to accompany my father and do the same service for the attending doctors. This provided me the opportunity to learn by observations. As here, there were rush of the patient. Everything has to be done in fast mode. I saw father used to take around 5 to 8 minutes to prescribe medicines. It is a snapshot prescribing that is required during the Mela and other such situations. In the Mela, different type of the patients were coming. Some were chronic and even some were chronic. Chronic patients were also served with more time for them, and for their follow-up treatment, they were referred to the doctor's member nearby them. Acute prescriptions require more attention to be searched for the medicine simultaneously. In my life, I found this learning which helped me to serve in many volunteers organizations. Now, this is another important thing. As you reach the Patna, at Patna Junction railway station, there is a huge Lord Hanuman temple. Thousands of devotees come and with offerings and prasada and donations. Earning of the temple is managed by the trustee who utilize it more noble work like hospital, shelters, home, Gurukul teaching, etc. One such Mahavir Arogya Sansthan was started in the early 1986, and the then director of the Sansthan also decided to include alternative therapy. He approached Dr. Hathua Maharaja, Dr. B.P. Sahib of the Hathua state, who was the firm believer in homeopathy to supporting this project. Dr. B. Sahani was the family physician for the entire Maharaja family, so he asked my father to, if possible, to serve the Mahavir Arogya Sansthan also. Dr. B. Sahani gladly accepted the invitation and started going there once a week in the beginning, and he was visiting alone earlier, but later on I also accompanied him. I had now, by this time, I have completed my DHMS course. Religiously tented organizations have some special attractions for the patient, as faith in Lord Hanuman gets associated with the medical service. Mahavir Arogya Sansthan was completely free and with subsidized laboratory test at the investigations at the cost price only. In religious organizations, we have to maintain the service attitude. I watched and helped my father in his prescribing. In this OPD, also proper case record was maintained. case taking registers and medicine dispensing counters beside the central registrations. Documentations help to keep memory intact. With every subsequent visit, we followed the same document process at our clinic. When you will come to our clinic, you will find that every patients that we see are recorded, and they are kept in a coded file, and whenever the patient come, we retrieve them. This OPD was free in nature. More poorest people were coming, and soon the popularity is spread among the whole state and neighboring area. When we serve with selfless feeling, we are blessed with the name and the fame. Dr. B. Sahani was my first guru. I am blessed with the foundation stone of homeopathy in life. Being inspired and inherited property, I learned to study homeopathy and practice it religiously. A devotional approach to medicines, which is necessary to explore the hidden nature of medicines. Learning comes with both regular habit of reading, conversation, and sharing informations beside practice. I am also, every time I am reminded with the Kent message, a physician cannot practice homeopathy who do not have faith in the God and the spirituality. Within the simplicity of homeopathy, there are infinite treasures of healing opportunity which cannot be dreamt of. Yet, perseverance, patience, and services are the natural offerings to the Almighty to serve the humanity. So, I think I am in time, and it is a finish of my presentations. I have concluded. This is my first part, and I hope that you may find some message from it, and it may be useful for many of you. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll be ready to share with you all.
Yes, sir. It's really a wonderful session, and its memory is something great than what you gain from textbook. Actually, you are the luckiest person in the world to have such an observation from the very childhood itself, and because of that, you are able to become another legend in the field of homeopathy, and that's how great people are being brought to the world to serve the people, and you are one among them. We are very happy to say that your sincerity to homeopathy, as well as your intense desire to propagate homeopathy among public as well as among students, and what a mind-blowing presentation. And really, it's full of motivation. This is what required at this time, as we know that homeopathic doctors from homeopathy fraternity itself is getting a lot of threat from different side, but still this kind of confidence building measures are the need of the hour, and we, the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy, is doing the same, and you are leading from the front for that. Congratulations, sir. Definitely, we are we people are having only very few memories like this, and I will talk my comments later, because Dr. Hariharan sir and others are getting already raised hand, and those who want to participate in discussion may raise your hand so that we will allow you to talk to Dr. Sahani sir. And let us begin the session with Dr. Hariharan sir.
Glad to see you, Dr. Hariharan.
Please adjust your camera a little more.
After a long time, I'm seeing you.
Hariharan sir, please adjust your camera a little more. So
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, sir.
Okay.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Very glad to see you, sir. Very glad to see you, sir. I bow my head to the feet of your father and you. You two personalities are highly respectable. No doubt in that. Your father, I mean, a rishi. No doubt, because see, he is a spiritual man. You said is very correct. A man who, a man, if a man is spiritual, that man is must be very respectable. So you and your father is highly respectable. Okay, sir. Long live. Okay. Thank you very much.
Dr. Indranil Bhavetkar, you want to say something?
Yes, Dr. Anil Bhavatkar. Please unmute.
Yes. So firstly, I will say Illavardam Namaskaram and my gratitude to you to have such a good and senior practitioner to talk face to face. I'm very happy to ask you a small question. Sir, nowadays many students are asking us that there are different schools in homeopathy. We see mind method, we see physical generals. Some schools are, like only on thermals. So what guidance would you give these students? Like they're all confused whom to follow. That is the main problem of this new generation now. So can you guide us for that?
Sorry. Dr. Bhavetkar, have you read one of the, just I'm taking some water to hear my. Have you read one of the book by Dr. Tiwari, a philosophy
Tiwari.
book? Yeah.
Yeah,
He is probably S.K. Tiwari or no, not
PS Tiwari, probably PS Tiwari. Yeah.
former Tiwari. Yeah. And he gives a beautiful story in it. About the blind man and the seven blind men and the elephant. He writes in that book, if you go through it, you will find that there are many people who are like following homeopathy and they have good faith in the homeopathy. But what they have learned from a drop from the ocean. And whatever they have learned, they say that this is a complete homeopathy. The doctor who saw the very thick leg of the elephant, they say elephant is like a log. Who touched the tail, he says that elephant like a rope. So these are the things that one used to draw. I don't say that they are wrong. Each and every guru and schools are good. Only thing is that collective approach, we as a practitioner, we as a lover of homeopathy need to have the combining. I'm naming Dr. Sankarani School, Dr.
Yeah.
There are many. They are wonderful.
Sir is there. Yeah.
They are wonderful. And their experiences are also. We have to share it. We have to include it. And we have to make it a part of our journey. So this is there. But when you go into the deeper philosophy of homeopathy, all these doubts will be cleared. For the student, I used to say, I was in the teaching professions for long, and I used to say that to become a homeopath, first you go to the textbook, the primary book, and thereafter you go to the separate group to have their experience to get. This is there. And those who have followed this, one of the things that students or practitioner, earlier practitioner, junior practitioner who have not attended the clinical, don't have the clinical experiences in the very initial stage, it is very difficult to become follow this theme. So this is collective things that we have to spread. And in cooperation with Dr. Dhanesh, we have organized one session as a panel discussions on width of homeopathy. For this, Dr. Vidka, I think it is on 25th of this month. So panel discussions will be there by important doctors from SM Singh, Dr. A.K. Gupta, myself, and Dr. Saurav Arora. He will be participating from the. So please join that session also. You have
Okay.
the width of them. Your questions will get many answers from.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rajeshwari. Yeah,
Thanks, sir.
Rajeshwari. Yeah, Rajeshwari. After you want to say
Yes,
something?
now I invite Dr. Rajeshwari Rattas.
You unmute yourself, Rajeshwari.
Please unmute, please unmute.
Please.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, my apologies for being late, and I missed this incredible session. I saw the poster and I was wondering, oh, I just missed this. I know that the legacy of Dr. Sahani sir is very great, and certainly you might have learned some very important lessons from his life. I will watch the YouTube video later. And we are really grateful to you, sir, for carrying on this, important things which you are teaching to the students and the colleagues and all. Thank you so much for conducting this.
Thank you, Rajeshwari ji. You are also very doing a wonderful propagation for the homeopathy. Lot of you have recently you asked me to have a session on the introductions of ICD. Na? You have asked me to have an ICD, and we are going to have a session of that. So we have to be updated every time. And so whenever I see this new idea, I get surprised how much we have that talent and opportunity among our students. And this forum, this is a wonderful forum. I am saying what I was blessed with my father. I say I am also blessed with this, being the part of this international forum of for promoting homeopathy. Because here every day, we are keep on learning something. Even from the junior students, we are learning. Even from the senior students like Dr. Hariharan, we are learning, and myself also sharing. So this is the only part. Every part of the moment of the life has to be utilized for the learning process. That's only brings you the confidence in practicing homeopathy. You seated before a patient who is suffering from very very serious and critical disorders. Lot of the pains are there. And until you have the patience, until you have the learning, and until you have the observing capacity, you cannot do anything. And I have seen, I cannot boast, but I have experienced, I can only share that, these things are happening in our society, in our life. So it is only the dedications that is very much important.
Okay, sir. Now I invite Dr. Ramprasad sir to say a few words. And thereafter, Dr. Boblin will say vote of thanks. Dr. Ramprasad sir, please unmute. Okay, it's up to Dr. Boblin. You can make your statement as well as you can say vote of thanks at the end. Yes, Dr.
This has been very. Hello, can you hear me?
Please
Yeah.
adjust your
Hello?
camera a little more.
Okay.
Please adjust your camera a little more. We
Uh,
can't see your face.
Yeah. Now it
yes.
is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Danish. And I'd like to convey my sincere thanks to Professor Dr. M K SAHANI sir for sharing your experience. It has been a very, very worthwhile and very, very deep insights on your experience and your father's experience, which we cannot get this knowledge from elsewhere. And once again, I learned a lot from you tonight. And I would like to say a very big thank you to you for sharing tonight's webinar and to make tonight 1762 day of interrupted daily webinar a total success. And with your 50 years experience, we would like to hear from you further. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Danish.
Thank you, Dr. Bob.
Okay, Dr. Ramprasad sir, you want to say something? Okay, you can say.
Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh ji, and congratulations, हमारे प्रिय Dr. Sahani ji, और your lucky man, your father, Dr. B. Sahani. Dr. B. Sahani
is my guru. So very, very thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Dr. M K Sahani sir, and those who attend the session in this evening. Tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Shivendra Kharari, and Doctor will be talking about a case of sulfur. All of you can join by using the same link that we shared today. And we will be uploading the videos of the today's session tomorrow evening itself, so that those who miss the session can watch it again. You can subscribe the same without paying any money. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. Good night to all.
Yes, sir.
It's over to the Malayalam team to moderate.